Let me show you some stuff about Bitcoin that'll blow you away. What spurred up the pump yesterday, right? Everyone's trying to speculate. No one will truly know. But according to Look On Chain, there's been a ton of institutional buying. In fact, they said $1.6 billion worth of buying since a week ago. Less than a week ago. Since February 10th. I've been showing you guys a lot of articles about these big banks, institutions, the BlackRocks of the world, right? All getting involved. Yeah, they're the ones that's pouring in the billions. Billion to them is like chump change. It's chump change. But this is the reason why Bitcoin has been going up, because you just have a whole lot of buying, a lot more buying than selling. And these big boys are buying. And why are they buying? Well, they must know something, right? Because they're trying to prepare for the future, and they know the markets will recover, right? The Fed will become dovish sometime this year. We may get that pivot this year, right? Money is sitting on the sidelines. People don't want to miss out on a tremendous upside, right? So money's starting to flow in, and what better to buy than Bitcoin and crypto, right? So that's exactly what's happening right now. So what's this about 50,000 Bitcoin that I mentioned, right? I did see this, and I did pull this chart from that article. And this is just looking at a Fibonacci level, the 1.618 level. And why this is important is because previous times when Bitcoin has fallen down, okay, to its low after a bear market, after a huge correction, right? We tend to see these tremendous rises, tremendous recovery afterwards. And that point is important because we have seen something like that happen. I mean, actually, not just once, but very often. In 2019, it happened. So take a look right now. According to halving cycle, right? If you look at where we are, we're exactly where we are supposed to be. Coming off from the top, going back down to that very low bottom point and recovering upwards, right? And in 2018, leading to 2019, Bitcoin had a tremendous run up to that same Fibonacci level, right? It went from 3,000 to 14,000 within a matter of months. And then unfortunately, we came back down again a little bit because it was a little bit too fast, right? So if you're looking at our current trajectory, which is in red right now, right? We're at exactly the point before Bitcoin tends to run up quite a lot because we're coming off from bottom. Now the blue one, that was 2 cycles ago. So that one was, it's a little bit off because Bitcoin was much smaller then. Obviously no institutional adoption, no country adoption, no any adoption really, just driven by retail investors. The 2017 cycle, the one last time, a little bit more money, right? The dollar amount obviously bigger, and just, DeFi was getting started. But this time around, we have a whole bunch more. So this recovery up could be quite tremendous, right? And we're talking about this is just this year. This is not even after the halving event. Just the recovery alone for this year could be tremendous. So this is showing if we get to that point, we're talking about in the 50,000 range. And I know many people have talked about this already. 50,000 this is projecting somewhere around like August, September timeframe, right? Which means we could still have up and down movement. But if we're following the same path as previous cycles, right, we could have that tremendous upside from here, and that'll be crazy. And my camera is cutting it off, but you can also see on the bottom there. Let me remove my camera. We're also in a bullish divergence on the weekly chart too, which, as the name implies, is bullish. So something to look forward to. We had a tremendous January. So far, a pretty good February, right? Will it continue into March? Well, here's one that's looking at the trend over many years. And you could see if you kind of shrink down the whole year to whether you have a net gain or net loss, only 3 years so far has been net losses, right? You could see in 2014, coming off a huge rise. Yes, we had a fall. You see 2018, yes, we had a fall. 2022, yes, we had a fall, right? But what happens when we have a fall? You have 3 consecutive years afterwards, right? And we're in that year 1 in 2023. And then we have 2024, which is the halving event. And then 2025, the year after halving event. That is, I mean, there's a lot of upside is what I'm trying to say. 3 years after 1 down year, generally speaking, the first year afterwards not going to get you back to the previous high. So if we do hit like 50,000 by the end of the year, well, that would align with everything else because we're still lower than the 69,000 top, right? But then year 2 is when we break through that top, and year 3 is when we go even higher, sometimes parabolically higher. So we're right on track. We're right on track. You also have other charts like this, which is showing the RSI crossing above the 14-day SMA on the 3-week chart. And, you know, I know it's kind of random, but still, every time that has happened, you can see a little fire mark, right? Every time that has happened, great things have happened to Bitcoin afterwards. Very, very great things have happened. The last time this happened was after that COVID crash in March of 2020. And again, we actually went down to 3,800. Just keep that in mind. Bitcoin was at 3,800 back in March of 2020. Ethereum was under $100, okay? And after this event happened, Bitcoin went up to 64,000 before taking a recovery. Okay, so think about that. Think about that. All right, and then what else? Well, a few other people that are very bullish. Mike Novogratz at Galaxy Digital says, you would not be surprised if Bitcoin hits 30,000 by the end of this quarter. That means by the end of March. Can Bitcoin hit 30,000, seeing how we're at 24,000? Yeah, we could be at 30,000 in no time. Okay? Even Keanu Reeves, someone that lived in Matrix, says Bitcoin is an amazing tool for exchange of resources. Criticizing it is only going to make it better. It sounds like Keanu has gotten out of the Matrix. And then also, I saw this. Wyoming lawmakers passed bill prohibiting forced disclosure of private crypto keys. Well, that's very positive. That's very positive. That means they cannot force you to disclose your private key to your wallet. But there's an asterisk, unless it's absolutely necessary. So if there's any other means, right, they won't force you to, but if the FBI is hounding you for it, then you'll probably be compelled to give it up. But you know what? Hey, can really anyone force you to disclose your private keys, right? If you have it memorized, and a lot of people do, no one could take that away from you, right? I think most people don't have it memorized, but you could. 12 words. If you try, you can memorize that very easily. And some that are 24-word recovery phrase, you could remember that if you wanted to.